Serious gay men of Reddit, have you ever met a hetero couple, where you instantly knew the boyfriend/husband was secretly gay? If so, how did you find out? I wouldn't say instantly, but I have been contacted by one, via Facebook Messenger, that asked me how I knew that I was gay and what the process was like coming out. He has a kid and thinks he is gay but doesn't want to leave the relationship because of his kid, and honestly it's a tough spot to be, because if you stay, is that fair to the person you are with? On the other hand, if you leave, how hard will it be on her and the kid? That was 5 years ago, he is still in the same relationship. I remember reading an r/relationships post a few years back like this. Of course 80% of the stuff on that sub is fake, but it was a good story, real or not. A woman with 3 kids and a 20-year marriage posted that she was being demonized for not supporting her soon-to-be ex-husband coming out. She said that her friend group was mad at her because she couldn't be happy that he was done living a lie. Of course she was the lie. She had been the lie for 20 years. The life she knew and the life and love she expected to continue into old age was the lie. I'm a straight, happily married man with several kids. I'm also on the conservative side with regards to monogamy and think family and marriage are very important bedrocks to stable, successful societies. That said, I don't think it's reasonable for someone to stay in a relationship for life when they're unhappy. People should work hard to make their marriage work when they're having it hard, but if it's really not going to be doable, it's asking too much of people. They obviously have responsibilities to their ex-partner and kids once they've left, but as long as they fulfill those responsibilities and don't cheat, then I won't judge them for leaving. Half of Suburban Grinder is gay dads married to women, but not my circus. My friend used to work in a gay sauna, most of his clients were straight guys. And the straight ones are the ones with the helium ankles. What does this mean? They lift their ankles over their head. Never heard the term, but from context I'd guess they are bottoms who are fond of the missionary position. I knew my brother was gay while he was dating girls, but it was never confirmed until he got a crush on my co-worker's brother. Then it became obvious and he eventually came out to me. How did you know he was while he was dating? I'm gay as well, it wasn't too hard to decipher. I get told I seem gay all the time and get hit on by gay guys, and 10/10 times I take it as a compliment, LMAO. There's 2 different types of seem gay. There's I'm 25 or younger, and because you act femme, you seem gay, and then there's hey brew, I catch you looking toward guys a lot more than girls, and that seems pretty gay. Let's not forget the third group, people who beat me in online games when I was 12. My ex is gay and we found out together. I always had a feeling that he might be gay. It was a rather tumultuous thing for him since he is from a culture where homosexuality isn't discussed openly. I'm happy that I was able to support him emotionally through a stressful time in his life. Things are fine now and he is super happy with who he is. Smiley face. I am super happy for him too, and also super happy that we found out 2 years into the relationship and not 20. It took us 30 years and 3 kids before he found out. I love my kids, but other than them, my whole life was wasted with him. He may have lied to himself about the gay part. He did tell me after our 3rd child, that he always wanted to be a woman. But definitely was not gay because he liked women. But then he started taking something for hair loss from Europe and it turns out it was increasing his female hormones, and the more he took the more he liked. It seemed to release this inner person that had never been out before. He refused to tell anyone but me, and so I had to keep this secret for a very long time. Our children finally are of the age to start their lives and they have no idea why we are separating. I feel like it was a waste for me because now I'm old and have to start over. After a couple of years of taking it, he started dreaming of men. So now who knows? We have just started the divorce process. And no, he still has not come *out. I was in the subway station leaning against my then boyfriend. We were a fairly good-looking, young couple. This middle-aged man and his wife were across the platform waiting for the opposite subway. He was staring at us quite a bit and was really bad at hiding it. At first I usually just think that maybe people don't see a lot of gay PDA. After a few minutes she was noticing him stare for prolonged periods of time. She looked troubled by that. I feel bad for the wife for sure, but I can't help feeling sorry for the husband as well. Perhaps he was just wondering, what if he had been born in this day and age? Would he be as happy as you and your then boyfriend looked at that moment? Never take our current freedom for granted. So, I see a lot of comments saying either gaydar or gaydar isn't real or some variation of those, and here's my thoughts on the matter. It depends on where you are. Gaydar will never be 100% accurate. You can never know another's mind. With that said, I grew up in rural Indiana and moved to suburban Oregon, and let me tell you, if a guy trips your gaydar in the country, there's a very high chance he's gay/bi/bicurious. If the same thing happens in the city, it's par for the course and doesn't mean anything. It depends on the culture of the area you're in. Straight guys are way more willing to act more stereotypically gay or feminine if the culture of the region is more accepting. Whereas in more sheltered or less accepting places straight guys are much less willing to act or behave in a way that could be perceived as gay because that's a bad thing there, so the only ones that tend to trip your gaydar are guys that are already out, or closeted guys who are opening up to that side of themselves. Rare is the straight guy in the rural Midwest who would trip a gaydar and not at the very least be curious. Props to any straight guys living freely without fear of judgment. Back when I lived in Indiana my gaydar was pretty damn accurate. Here in Oregon I've given up and stopped trying because it's impossible to tell, and that's alright with me. I'm happy people can live in a place where they can be themselves without fear of being judged. A lot of straight people actually assume my fiancé is gay when they first meet him. He has picked up a lot of mannerisms and behaviors from his older brother, who is gay. Haven't had a single LGBT friend of ours say the same thing though. I lived in a small town for college and you are spot on. I came back to the biggest city in the state and had completely lost touch with reality. Is this guy flirting with me? Took me a while to reprogram my brain. Gaydar isn't that great. People occasionally think I'm gay. I'm not. No one ever thinks my best friend is gay, until they see him kiss his husband, who they also did think was gay. Lots of people assume all gays are like sparkle twinks. They aren't. Oh thank you. I thought it was just me that couldn't tell in this area. I have just decided that it doesn't matter unless I'm interested and then I get to know them better. Just because you're gay doesn't mean you can't get it up to have sex with a woman. Plenty of gay men have fathered children because that's what you're supposed to do. I had a boss, his ex-wife was a lovely woman and his kids 100% his looked just like the both of them. Once they went to college he just couldn't pretend anymore. Him, his ex, her new husband and his husband all took family vacations with each other. He even had his OG wedding photo on the photo wall. That's really beautiful in a weird way. You should always marry your best friend, and it sounds like he did. I am that married bi dude and I've had this weird issue a few times. I can't even go for my regular coffee run at a place anymore because it became too weird with a barista there. Not sure if he saw my ring or just didn't care, but it just ended up getting too weird for me to go there anymore lol. Did my husband write this? He doesn't like the coffee shop near our house for mysterious reasons. When I was a newspaper reporter I met a woman one time while working on a story about a Christian organization she was involved in. Well, she ends up going into a lot of her background and talks about how before she became a Christian she was gay. She said that she went to one of those conversion camps and was now no longer gay. She was older, probably 60s to 70s, and I remember thinking, but you're not, you're just lying to yourself. She even basically admitted that she still liked women but repressed it. Very bizarre, and I really felt sad that she felt like she had to live her life that way. I recognized him because he blew me in my car several years earlier when we were in college. He could be bi. OMG, thanks for reaching out. After all these years. I found out because he was checking me out. And then told me he was going to come out to his family. We hung out a bit and it was nice. One time while walking into work I slipped on the ice and he caught me and kept his arm around me as we ice shuffled in. I asked him what he'd do if anyone thought anything inappropriate and he said he didn't care. He got a divorce, his wife was a cheater, and we reconnected and now we're happily married 8 years later.